Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we are looking at the first pre-order pack for the new major update in War Thunder, and it is for the VRCC Centauro. This is a Spanish variant of the Italian Centauro, which they got for export, and overall it's looking pretty nice. By the way, if you want to pick up this pack, make sure to use my partner code, which is in the description of this video. You can get 3% off the purchase and also my decal in the game, and you can support the channel at the same time. The pack is $60. It comes with the VRCC Centauro, which is going to be rank 6 for Italy. It comes with 2000 GE, premium account for 15 days, the Hidalgo title, the Knight Errant decal, and also the automatic rifle for Spanish decoration, which is pretty cool. So overall, not too shabby for the overall pack. Generally, it's looking pretty bog standard. Let's get into the history of the VRCC Centauro. Since 2000, the Italian B-1 Centauro wheeled armored vehicle has been supplied to the Spanish army. With its new operators, the vehicle index changed to VRCC, which means Vehículos de Reconocimiento y Combat de Caballería, which is the cavalry reconnaissance and combat vehicle, but the name itself remained unchanged. The vehicles were built in Italy and differed from the basic B1 version by a slightly modified frontal hull armor and also the smoke grenade launchers, the same as found on the second series of the Centauro. The contract for the second batch of machines, signed in 2002, also included partial licensing of the production for the Spanish domestic market, as well as the modernization of the fire control system by installing a more advanced gunner's thermal vision device. In addition, the armament of the VRCC Centauro was reinforced with a second light machine gun on the turret roof. So to be quite honest with you, when I have a look at this vehicle, it is quite boring. That's probably the one thing I would say. But at the end of the day, do you want a high-tier premium to be not boring? Do you want it to be unique? Do you want it to be interesting? Or do you want it to be practical? And that is the real question. Back in the day when we had the straight-up stuff like the Leopard A1A1L44, the XM1 GM, and even stuff like the AMX-30 Super, there was never really a tech tree equivalent to any of these vehicles. And what this basically meant was if you didn't have those vehicles, you didn't really have a great lineup around those BRs. Now, nowadays, it's a little bit better. There's still some which still don't have lineups, like the AMX-30 Super, but at least it is, for most nations, a bit better than it was. And now with the new set of premiums, you got the Challenger DS, the Leopard 2A4, vehicles like this, even kind of the terms in a way, it looks like they are going back to similar vehicles, or at least the same vehicles from other nations, which are, similar to tech tree ones, which is nice. So instead of like paying for power, what you're basically paying for is a skin. And that's kind of what you're doing with the VRCC Centauro as well. This thing is not really different from the standard Centauro that you see around the place. It has access to the DM33, which is a very powerful APFS DS round. This thing will probably be at the same BR as the Romore or similar, so an 8.7 or 9.0. Then you have access to a different armor scheme on it, but the armor scheme actually doesn't give it better armor. Maybe it might, just because of the weird angles on it, but it says that the armor should be basically the same, the mobility should be the same, which is really good on the Centauro. You're looking at 110 kilometers an hour just running around the place, and also you have thermals on top of this, plus the laser rangefinder and all of that wonderful stuff. So the Centauro is a fantastic vehicle. It's really good. It works really well in the game. It was one of those vehicles when it was first added, which I would class as kind of broken, because you couldn't kill the damn thing, and it would just run around with its stabilizer at ridiculous speeds and just donk you on the head with its gun. But nowadays, it's a lot easier to kill with a lot of the changes that they did to survivability, but it's still incredibly powerful as a vehicle. The standard reload on the 105, the DM33 is a powerful combo, and with Italy having a pretty strong 9.0 lineup now, it works, it's going to fit into that really well. They've been putting a ton of effort into Italy over like the last year or so, adding a lot of light tanks to its higher ranks, trying to give it an identity instead of just being known as the nation with the bad MBTs. It now has a ton of lineups around 9.0, 9.3, 9.7, and even around other BRs, which are trying to promote different playstyles compared to other nations. And that is something that Italy needs. Since it is one of the least played nations, it needs something that is different, it needs something that's interesting, and that's what they're doing with all of these vehicles. We'll have to see as well if this new pre-order pack comes with some interesting stuff. There has been chat about this idea of a subtree for Italy coming at some point. So maybe this will be a bit more useful than it, just looks like on the tin. It also has a nice camouflage on it as a standard one. It is for the Spanish 8th Light Cavalry Regiment, the Lusitania. So that's what it is, which is, quite interesting to see. But from its general usability, it's going to basically be the same as the standard Centauro. And since the standard Centauro is really good, this one is going to be really good too. Italy is one of those nations which has a ton of really good BRs. 3740, it has one of the best SPG lineups in the game if you want to get those specials done or if you want to get those dailies done. 77 is really nice. It also has just a ton of light tanks all over the place. So if you're a person who really likes scouting, if you're a person who really likes kind of the recon element of War Thunder and then battering people with automatic guns, Italy works fantastically well. They have a good 8.7 as well. They now have a good 9.0, and even stuff like 10.7 is really nice because, they have the Ariete, they have the automatic, and even the Centauro MGS. I just wish that when it came to that BR, it got down-tiered a bit more, but that will only happen in time when, other stuff kind of gets up-tiered as it goes along. The VRCC is a lovely addition, and I'm sure many people will enjoy it. It's not very unique or interesting, but I feel like I don't want that for a high-tier premium. I would rather have something which I know is going to work well, which I know is already tried and tested, and that is what this Centauro is when it comes to the game. The other thing to note about it as well is this frees up a lot of other options which could go as premiums into the tech tree. All of the other Spanish vehicles we talked about, which were helped along by Otto Melara. Another thing is now you have the OF40 MTCA and the VRCC available, one for GE and one for pre-order, meaning that both are going to be there if you want it. So yeah, a pretty good vehicle, nice to see, and hopefully gets more people interested in Italy as a nation. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Nicholas Richardson, Elove Goat, Pyman675, Winter Scientist, Merciless Reaper, Jerry Prevolt, Megadino King, Orange Tail, Teddy, John Ryman, Universe, Ambrosius McClellan, Daniel Stanton, Moxie, B. Young, Uncle Bean, Sem Arslan, Derek R., Bareen, Lafouche, and Samuel Slick for supporting the channel.